So, I'm sure you guys have seen this. And if you've seen that, you've probably seen this.
It's because you people like struggle love. Then on top of the struggle love, you want to do colorism. We do not want our men, it's in our culture, to uphold women, to treat women like damsel in distress, to cater to women. I show him 50-50 struggle love. We do not want it. Stay on your side. Day or day with day.
Anyway, first things first, she's entitled to her own opinion. The first thing that she did mention was struggle love. I don't know when struggle love became an issue. There's so much trauma in the black community that I feel like we've ruined the whole perception of love in general. I am a South African woman married to an African American king who loves, respects, and takes care of me and treats me like the queen on my throne. I was actually married before to a man who was actually born bred in the United States, but he was a South African mixed with a Ghanaian. That didn't work because of his childhood emotional trauma. I myself had childhood emotional trauma, and yet I was willing to work on it. It's so necessary to work on it because in all spectrums of life, you need to heal from your childhood emotional trauma in order to be a person that is actually healthy for another person. And the main thing is you have to love yourself enough to love someone else. And everyone has their timing. Obviously, his time to heal was not at the time that we were together. And so that did not work out. Thank goodness we did not have any children or anything together. And he was African, but it had nothing to do with him being African. I have had my fair share of relationships with African men. Some good and some undesirable. But that had nothing to do with them being African. It was really about them as people. They were still black men who not only had trauma of their own, but also trauma of the land where they grew up in. Now, being with the man that I'm with, it took a lot for us to get where we are right now. But it started with struggle love. And the loyalty that we have today is actually rooted in the struggle love that we went through together. We actually appreciate those moments. From being broken, homeless, man living in cars, hotels, all kinds of stories. We could literally write a book. But our loyalty is rooted in that struggle love. We both worked, we splitted bills, we struggled together. And in no way as a woman do I regret that. And the kind of critical skills we learned together, I wouldn't do it with anyone else. I would do it all again if I had to. I also do not believe that it's about him being African American that it worked. I think it was because we both wanted to make it work. Moving on to colorism. I'm darker than my husband, and in no way have I ever felt some type of way about the color of my skin because of him. Instead, even looking back at his exes, they were darker than me. And then when we speak about culture and how a man is supposed to treat a woman, right now I am living my best life. I am a proud stay-at-home mother and wife who has an online business, and besides spoiling everybody else, there's no bill that I take care of. And that's just how it's always been since we had children. And he is African American, a black man who takes very good care of his wife and children. There is no difference between us. We're all black, it's just about us as people.